It's time for another episode of the Weekendology Podcast, Aaron, so strap in because your weekend entertainment starts now. Hello, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another episode of the Weekendology Podcast. We're the only podcast with the hottest takes, the best talking points, and the stories to spark your weekend conversations. I'm Will Deishley, back alongside my co-host, Aaron Berg. This is a show where we talk about movies, music, sports, and more related to media, and give our takes on how we can change and improve upon them, kind of breaking the status quo, so to speak. So if you're new to the show, welcome. Thanks for having us here. Give us a follow on Twitter. We're at Weekendology Pod. We're up on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts. So anyway, Aaron, what is going on, my dude?
Hey, just chilling, man. Just chilling, ready for the weekend.
Well, we're all chilling today. It's a week before Christmas. Well, no, 2 weeks before Christmas before we record this. A week before Christmas vacation for most of us.
Basically Christmas.
Basically,
close
yeah.
enough.
It's kind of a
We're
throwaway week for us. I can't even imagine what I've actually done this week other than
podcast stuff.
Prep for this podcast, and that's pretty much it. So
podcasting is life.
Yeah, we're trying to reach Joe Rogan status here.
We're gonna have to get him on the show eventually, with as much as we mention him.
We're gonna get there eventually. It's gonna happen. So
I think we've mentioned him every single episode.
Yeah, I think we have. We've called out a lot of really big people on this podcast. So Tim Legler,
Robert Swift.
Yep. Michael Wilbon.
That was just one time.
Well, still, we called him out. We called out Donald Trump too. I think we've called out a lot of people. So
bring Donald Trump on to say how he would change the impeachment hearings.
I would never have impeachment hearings. I would have so much better impeachment hearings. It'd be incredible.
My impeachment is the best.
Exactly. So no, we're kind of just chilling here, and I am excited for this episode because, well, it's kind of hitting very much into the mainstream media, and kind of every part of business is doing this now. So I was actually watching Disney Plus before we started recording this, and this is what we're recording on today, is the current state of streaming subscriptions, the current state of just pretty much any kind of subscription model that exists. So whether that's be music, movies, all the different media types of stuff, for food deliveries as well. They're everywhere. So I mean,
I like that little shout out how you had to throw in you used Disney Plus.
Wow.
Did you wear your AirPods while you did it?
Yes.
I'm sure you did.
And you don't have AirPods.
Such a millennial.
I
have Bose, which are better.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Well,
and they're more expensive. So
I only have AirPods.
Who's a peasant now?
Because of the brand. So
I know you do. And you watch Disney Plus, and
exactly.
Just total millennial.
I am a current millennial, and I
break the status quo. That's why I'm on the show.
Oh, well, all right.
That's why I'm here, because I'm here to,
that's why I brought
break
you
the
on.
status quo and not wear AirPods and not have Disney Plus. So.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Disney Plus. I like it.
We can get into it. We're going to get into it, aren't we?
We're definitely getting into it. So, streaming and like the subscription-based models and products are the kings and queens of like the convenience and entertainment. You know, everybody has a streaming platform. You know, obviously, everybody is part of some sort of subscription model, and it's not just like the movies and music. There exists, like I said, for food deliveries too. There's this like thing called Freshly. They deliver foods to your house. Blue Apron.
Sponsor us. You guys love sponsoring podcasts.
That'd be cool. I love the cook. That'd be
Hello
awesome.
Fresh.
Yeah, Hello Fresh is a good one too. Even Amazon and Whole Foods teamed up for like a subscription-based thing where you like purchase food through Amazon and it's delivered to you.
I didn't know that.
You know, by Whole Foods and everything too. Yeah, it's really cool actually. And the response time is actually really good. It's within like a couple hours. So you just go on Amazon and be like, type in, I want, groceries from Whole Foods, and it's delivered from Whole Foods, and it'll deliver to you in a couple hours. And everything is so convenient and hyper convenient in the sense that, yeah, it's delivered straight to your door. You don't even have to leave. You don't have to go anywhere for some of these products to be delivered to you, like Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, and
I don't know if
Harry's.
you're familiar. Everybody knows Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge. I use a subscription-based model for my shaving. It's called Bevel. They just deliver it straight to your door. It's like $60 every 3 months, and you get enough supplies for 3 months of shaving equipment. So it's really nice, actually. Manscaping, yeah. Maybe they can sponsor us too.
Yep. That's a great product.
I always see their advertisements.
No, they're great
on Twitter.
I have them.
That's because of the all the TFM models or whatever that are on there too. I'm scrolling on Twitter, just like, oh, whoa, wait a second here.
It is a great deal, and if they want to sponsor us, I'll gladly give personal shout outs to them.
Okay,
they're a great company.
Well, now we know what you do in your spare time, Aaron. But we're talking about kind of like, the question is, like, is it really sustainable? Because with so many different types of subscription models and streaming sites and music services and everything like that, is it really a sustainable model going forward for all these businesses and for the consumer, at least, too? So I was doing a little bit of research into this, and
hit us with some stats.
I'm gonna hit you with some knowledge here. There's over 200 different streaming sites. That's just like movies and music, or not
just
movies,
media.
Just media.
Okay.
So like that's only movies and TV shows. So like Netflix, there's Disney Plus, there's Apple has their own streaming sites now. There's YouTube TV, Sling TV, like Hulu Live, Fubo TV. I mean, there's like every single major network is having their own streaming site. Every single like cable provider is now getting into streaming sites as well.
Right.
And so then you also have all of the music ones like Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Apple Music as well is in there. And
Tidal.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though they're not going to be a thing anymore because Jay-Z is now on Spotify.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, there's when one music star or media star breaks off, they create pretty much their own streaming site then. And so, I mean, like I said, there's all the ESPN Plus, there's the Freshly. All
there's a million of
them. There's so many of them. So it's great when you're, talking about, building from a business to your consumer. I mean, we're both in marketing in here, and that it's a frictionless business model. It's so easy to promote, and it's a guaranteed stream of revenue for however long that they sign up. And
so, do you think this? Are you saying this is a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, I'm setting the stage, so it's like I'm giving, making sure that it is such an easy thing, but we'll get into a lot of the issues and the problems with them as we go along. But I want to just give everybody a good scope of like how many there are out there.
Yeah, I mean, no, it is amazing. I mean, 200 just for media.
Just in media,
that's crazy.
And that's not even music. That's not anything else.
Right.
Like, you look on Instagram or Twitter, and you're gonna be like, oh, an ad for this subscription model, or there's subscription models that will send you like boxes. They're like loot boxes, and you get certain items in there related to, I don't know what guys use, like certain different like. One includes like a cooking supply, and then the other includes like some beard oil, and then one of them includes like some gloves or whatever. It's like random assortments of items, but they're all like useful to your daily life, I guess, or stuff like that. There's a trillion of those out there, but my brother, I think, used to get one of those. He would get like a watch. There was one there. He got like a pocket knife in there, and then. They're all branded and stuff to the company or whatever.
Sure.
But so it's exploded in the last couple of years as well. Did you know Netflix went from 8 million to 100 million subscribers in less than 10 years?
I did not.
Well, now you know.
Would I have impressed you more if I said, yeah, I knew that?
I mean, that would have been actually a good stat. Yeah.
Like, yeah. You haven't heard?
Well, because like Netflix came on in like 2008. Before,
well, they start
or before that, like they started just getting big in 2008.
Well, because they started to compete with Blockbuster, and they were the ones mailing the like DVDs.
Yeah,
like you'd set your queue, and then they'd mail you a DVD and physically pick up the DVD in the mail, and that was the just epitome of convenience right there. And then they went into the streaming and everything like that.
Yeah, because they
were. This has been going on for a long time, and I think that's the thing is people look at it like it's so new and everything is such convenience nowadays. But if you really look at it, grocery deliveries, Simon Delivers was around 20 years ago, bringing groceries to people's doors. I mean,
it's brilliant. Like it can't go wrong with it.
But I think the thing that people are treating it like this new phenomenon, and like it's not. It just blew up as technology blew up, and it kind of it put it on a higher stage. So.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. Like if I'm a business and be like, well, I can eliminate a lot of shipping costs, or I can eliminate a lot of overhead just by having people just sign up and then it's automatically delivered for you. I mean, it makes it easier on the consumer, and when the consumer is having a good time, then they're obviously going to give you some business to it. But you're right too. I mean, Netflix has been around since kind of like the end of the Blockbuster days, and a lot of other businesses now just kind of took hold of it and like, okay, well, we can do that. Well, we can do it better, or we can do it differently. I mean, Hulu wasn't really a thing until like 2011, 2012, and now it's kind of exploded onto, they have 28 million subscribers.
That was so smart to do TV. I have a TV, and it's amazing. It's great.
Hulu TV is really good. I mean, YouTube is now getting into live broadcasting.
It's smart for them, too, to do all that, because they have the capabilities to do it.
Because you have those... like it's the a la carte thing. It's the breakaway, cut the cord, from cable, trying to get away from that. You're not, because a lot of times, I had cable for, I don't know, a couple years when I lived on myself. And
the whole Charter up in Missouri.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate, so Charter Spectrum really sucks. But
I have a theory though, no matter what cable company anyone had, because I've had Comcast, CenturyLink, Charter, and AT&T. So I've basically had...
You've had pretty much all of them. Then, yeah.
You're going to complain about all of them. Like, there's something bad about all of them, and you're always going to be like, oh, it sucks. Like,
that's because
there's none that's great.
They've always got a monopoly on everything. I mean, if you want to, like, bundle your home and internet together and your TV, I mean, they give you a decent price for it, but they give you 600 channels that you don't watch, and you're paying $150 or $100 a month. Or if you just want internet, sometimes, I mean, Charter charged me $65 a month just for internet. Yeah. I was like, well, this is really dumb. I'm not going to do that. So I switched to AT&T and only paid $40 a month, which was great.
Yeah, but then they can do the same thing.
Exactly. And we're going to get into that later, actually. But I mean, this streaming model, this subscription model is here to stay. But there's so many issues with it that I think that people are now starting to kind of grasp, because there's so many different types of competition, and when you have too much types of competition, then you run the risk of lower quality for the same type of product, or not great content. So what was like a show that you recently watched on Netflix or something? Did you watch any of like the new Netflix originals or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I've watched the Netflix original.
Okay, so like, for instance,
Narcos.
Yeah, so that's a Netflix exclusive then.
Yeah.
So you can't get that. So they have like a ton of Netflix originals, and a lot of other shows or streaming sites are doing that. Jack Ryan on Amazon. I think Mandalorian obviously on Disney Plus as well. But when you're wanting to watch those shows, you're pigeonholed into having to sign up for that subscription then. So like, I really wanted to watch Mandalorian. I had to sign up for Disney Plus. I didn't want to sign up just because, there's other great stuff on there. Yeah, that's cool, but it's not like I could.
Well, that's what's funny, because like I thought about that when Disney Plus came out. Like, how many people, unless you're like Willie McKenna, want to watch? Shout out Willie McKenna.
Shout out Willie McKenna.
He'll be on eventually, but like, unless you just love Disney and you're gonna watch all these like Disney movies back to back to back, or just how often do you rewatch movies? People were getting that, I think, for that same reason. I mean, I'd love to hear people tell me they weren't, but I don't think that's true. I think people signed up, and that's, genius for Disney to say, hey, look at all the stuff you get. It's a bunch of trash you're not going to watch, and 3 things that are new and things that we're really going to promote and you're really going to want to watch. So you'll pay the $6 a month, $7 a month to watch it. I mean, I do the same thing with
I agree.
ESPN Plus. I really don't watch a whole lot on there. I watch the 30 for 30, and I watch like SLU.
Can you watch live sports?
Yeah. I watch. That's how I watch SLU basketball. That's a cool thing about ESPN Plus, and how I think these streaming, and I think how Hulu, what they did well is they brought in live TV and sports, and you can watch, especially ESPN Plus. I can watch literally any game. I mean, you can watch the smallest D1s. If it's D1, they're going to have it like football, basketball, those kind of
That's
sports.
really nice, too.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I can watch every single SLU game that I want. And I've never been able to do that before.
Well,
until this year or last year. I think last year was the first year.
I like what Disney Plus has been doing, though, because, one, you're getting all the current, like, you get all the Marvel movies in there, which I'm a huge fan of, and so are a lot of other people.
Yeah.
You get a lot of the old classic.
But you're not going to watch them that much.
Maybe I'll go back and rewatch, like, I want to watch, this Iron Man
but that's
or this
what I mean.
Spider-Man
Like,
or...
they're getting you, though, because, like, they're saying, look at this access you have. But you're going to watch, maybe you'll once in a while be like, I want to watch Iron Man. You'll watch that.
Yeah.
But, like, you're not going to watch.
But you're also getting all of the classic Disney
worth.
movies, like the old animated ones. You're getting pretty much every single Disney property ever made in the streaming service.
Yeah.
For only, $6 a month? That's actually pretty good when you compare it to Netflix.
It's not going to be that very long.
Okay, well, when you compare it to Netflix, when they have these garbage Netflix exclusives, they just start pumping them out. I watched this one recently.
They get pretty bad.
With it was some they were like, it was like this lady was cooking. She was like a chef, and it was they were like childhood friends, and they dated when they were in high school, and then they split up for 20 years or whatever, and they finally rekindled their friendship and then their love or whatever. It was
they always
one
get
of the
A-list
worst
actors in this too. That's what's
yeah.
amazing. You'll watch these, I'm like, how did they pay this guy?
It was a well-known Asian American actor and actress too, and I was.
It's always like
so
A-list
bad.
or B-list at lowest. That's like that Forrest Whitaker one. We were talking about where they're running away from the storm.
That one
it's
was
so
awful
bad.
too.
I'm like, how did they say, hey, they had to pay
that was
Forrest
the
Whitaker a ton of money.
post-apocalyptic one, right?
Yeah, but it's like they didn't even write a script. It was just like, hey, we're going to copy off every disaster movie and throw Forrest Whitaker in it.
Yeah.
And we're not going to end it. There's no end. You don't know how it ends.
No.
they just basically drive into the storm.
Crappiest ending of all time. Well, that's what I'm saying too, because when
it's kind of like that episode we were talking
is,
about entertainment.
Netflix is, in my opinion, the bad side of streaming in the sense of content, and there's just so many shows and there's so many pieces of Netflix originals out there. Whereas when you look at Disney Plus or even like what Amazon is doing with Jack Ryan, I mean, those are really good quality shows.
I don't like Jack Ryan. I think it's super boring.
Okay, well, you can just get off the podcast now because
you just
Jack
like it
Ryan,
the Office guy is in it.
No, well, yeah, I like Jim. Or what's his name?
See?
John Krasinski. Oh, dang. John Krasinski.
I walked into that one.
But when you're looking for a certain particular show, like Friends is leaving Netflix on New Year's. Like that is causing complete uproar and people can be in total sadness and despair because they only have Netflix because Friends is on there.
Yeah.
You know how much the cult following of Friends
is?
It's
ridiculous.
I never really saw what the special.
That's another stupid show.
I honestly thought Friends was highly
funny.
overrated.
I will say that I understand it though because I mean, like I love King of Queens. That's a great show.
See, I don't like that show. I think it's really boring.
Boring?
Yeah. You think Jack Ryan's boring? That's literally about spies and
Kevin James is hilarious.
CIA.
It's so and
Kevin James. I don't like
and
Kevin
Arthur.
James. What,
like Jerry Stiller?
No.
You don't like Jerry Stiller?
Do you not like? He's okay. I can stomach him.
Do you not like Seinfeld?
Well, I like Seinfeld. Yeah,
okay.
That's not a bad show. But that's another one that was on. What Seinfeld was on?
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, King of Queens. Like I understand it because there's certain comedies where I've seen them a million times, but once in a while I do like that option of okay, I can turn this on and watch a rerun whenever I want. So. It is nice, but where is Friends going now?
Friends is going to I think it's the CBS streaming service
launching
soon.
And that's the thing I think is going to get dangerous because it's going to get to the point where every single channel, if it was on Fox or CBS or TNT or MTV or whatever, you name the channel, they'll have their own. And then, I don't think they're going to come together anymore. They're going to just be separate, and then you're going to have to start adding in, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Because a lot of the times, how this works is like the streaming networks go to the networks that created the shows, and then they pay them like a certain fee, I think, and then it's like per subscriber they pay the show network a certain fee to get the license to put that show on their streaming network.
Yeah.
So Netflix goes and gets, Friends, they pay, I don't know where Friends originally aired. Was it NBC or
it was one of those, one of the networks.
ABC or something, I don't know, whatever it was. They pay them a certain fee based on how many subscribers they have to get the license fee, and Netflix shuffles in content left and right.
Well, and look what Netflix has been doing, and I think this is going to happen to Hulu, where because they knew Disney Plus was taking all their stuff eventually, they're like, okay, we need to fill up our queue, I guess, create a bunch of original content. They're going to start losing everything, and then it's just going to be Netflix content. And then Hulu, I think, is going to... I mean, could be totally wrong on this. I think they're going to do the same thing because they already have original content. And it's not bad.
That's a good point, actually. So,
yeah.
I don't know, in 10 years, if Netflix is still around... like,
why wouldn't they have the same fate? Because you're going to get CBS and Fox and blah, blah, blah creating their own, and they're going to start taking those away, and Hulu can't stop it. So it's just going to be the same fate. And then you're going to have just solely Netflix content, solely Hulu content, and even 10 years after that, who's to say Disney won't eat those guys up? Exactly. Why not? They bought 20%
So here's an
Fox.
interesting thing. So Hulu has a leg up on Netflix, in my opinion, because they offer a live TV with it. So you can get live TV, pays like $40 a month or something, and then
they keep raising it.
Yeah, but you also get all of the shows that are on Hulu as well.
Yeah.
So
that's why
that's
I have
a
it, because
huge
it's
step up.
You get the best of both worlds.
I think Hulu is probably the best streaming site for just convenience and quality as well, because you're getting live TV and all the shows. Netflix doesn't have that.
One, it was your favorite, How I Met Your Mother. That was all on Hulu.
Yeah.
They took it off. Well, I got live TV. I can still watch How I Met Your Mother because they show it all the time.
Wait, did they take it off of Hulu? Because it was on Netflix and it migrated to Hulu, and I didn't have Hulu at the time. So
I'm pretty sure they took it off Hulu.
That's disappointing.
Like the Hulu, not the live TV, like the app.
Oh, okay.
I think I could be wrong, but I thought, unless I'm thinking of when they took it off Netflix.
I don't know.
When did they take it off Netflix?
Maybe like a year or two ago or something. Yeah. I was pretty devastated when that happened. So
yeah.
I was pretty sad.
I think it's off.
But that's
Hulu
the thing.
too.
Like, I only watch.
But you can watch it
4 shows on Netflix. Like, I don't watch all of the originals. I mean, I watched Narcos for a little while. I watched what's the one with Jason Bateman when he's in Missouri.
Oh, Ozark.
Yeah, Ozark.
The first season was good.
First season was good. Second season was really bad.
It was horrible.
But there's so many shows. There's so many different streaming networks, and like you said, every network is creating their own streaming site. I mean, CBS is coming out with one. NBC has one. A lot of the cable networks, like Comcast, are coming out with their own streaming network. And there's a lot of shows that are and networks that are under that umbrella. But we're going to end up with having this have 15 different streaming sites or 20 different streaming sites just for media.
Well, that's a scary thing. Is they're totally going to hold it hostage because
100%.
They can charge whatever they want. And they can make people get a million different channels because, you want this show, it's here. You want this show, it's over here. You want this movie, it's over here.
Right.
And it's exactly what happened with cable, 10 years ago, where they were charging an arm and a leg and not giving you much, and people's hands were tied, and they're like, well, I don't want to just get rid of TV. This is kind of all I have to do.
I mean, that's why everybody loves the streaming stuff, though, because you can choose what you want, more kind of the a la carte, and that's where Sling TV came in. That's where this. But
Sling TV does it too, though.
Well, yeah, they've kind of commoditized themselves. Now.
I had Sling TV for a couple months to get Pac-12 Network, and to get Pac-12 Network, they put it in their more expensive package.
Well, I think that's because
and they give you nothing if you just get the. They always advertise at $25 a month. They don't give you anything. They give you a bunch of junk channels.
Yeah,
that
there's
you don't
the
watch
orange
anyway.
package and there's the blue package. And you can choose I want these channels for $25.
Yeah, and then $35 more to get the sports package.
Exactly, and it's not truly a la carte. You're only given the channels within that package, so you can't choose individual channels.
Right.
And then the really ones that you want, and then pay $35 a month or whatever. You have to go with set A.
Yeah, you have to buy it in
B.
a block.
Yeah, and then you go a la carte. So it's really stupid. So I did some more math with some of these streaming sites, and I'd say they averaged about $12. Let's just say average on 12.
Yeah.
You're gonna have maybe on average about 6 or 7 of these. So that's $72 a month. So you're spending $864 a year
just to watch TV.
Just to watch maybe 7 shows. Yeah. If you have Netflix to watch, Netflix original. If you have Hulu to watch How I Met Your Mother, you have HBO Max to watch Game of Thrones.
I was wondering what you were gonna say.
What did you think I was gonna say?
There's a lot else on
no, that's
HBO.
The extra premium package.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't afford that. But
I'm on a budget.
So you're spending, and that's not including your music ones, like you got to have Spotify Premium, otherwise you're going to be a peasant like I do.
Oh, I hate when you're listening to like someone's Spotify and a group of people, and our ad comes on. You know, you're like at a pool, and someone's got it on their speaker, and this stupid ad comes on. Like, really?
Yep.
You're not going to spend the extra $5 to. And you can't even skip songs.
No, you can't.
I don't understand.
Well, you get 6 skips up for an hour, and that's it.
No, so, that's not going to work.
Yeah, no. Especially when you have like 5 million songs on your playlist. You're like, I don't like this. I'm not feeling this. Okay, maybe this is good. Then you have Apple Music. Then you have all that. So
I don't understand. Okay, are you a guy like that has both? Do you have Apple Music and Spotify? I don't understand people that do.
I tried out Apple Music streaming or whatever I got like 3 months free or something. It was fine. I found myself listening to Spotify more because just like I could listen to both the podcasts and the music right away. Yeah. I didn't have to go like for Apple Music, you have to go for like Apple Music and you have your songs. Then you have to go to the podcast app and listen to the podcast through that.
Oh, okay.
So in that way, I didn't like it. I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for this because everything I have is on Spotify.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they're the kings of the music streaming areas. But I mean, you have Pandora then as well.
I had Pandora and Spotify at the same time, and I mean, they kind of do the same thing. That's why I had Pandora because it was cheaper, and
How much is Pandora a month? Like,
it was 3-4 years ago. It was $5 when I had it.
That's not bad.
I'm sure it's like $8. And I liked it because it was the radio, you know. Right. So like it'd play a song. You could pick, you know, your favorite band's station, and then they would play music similar to that, and then I'd find new bands or new, you know, singers through it. So I liked that, but Spotify has that too. I don't think Spotify's radio is as good as Pandora. Pandora, you definitely can discover new music more, but
I don't even think I've used Spotify's radio that much, or at all, actually.
Yeah, I think that's why people still use Pandora, because they don't know Spotify like has the same exact thing.
I don't even think I actually knew that they had a radio station.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You could type in Celine Dion radio and then just listen to My Heart Will Go On. So.
Well, then, can you sing it for us, Aaron?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're the Celine Dion fan on this podcast.
I'm not a Celine Dion fan. No. I actually didn't even know that existed, so that's good to know.
So I crunch numbers too.
There you go. So, but when like you're looking at upwards of $1,000 a year,
it adds up, and it adds up for stupid reasons, because, like I said, if you have Apple and you have Spotify, or you have Pandora and Spotify, those basically do the same thing.
Yep.
If I had Hulu and Sling at the same time, did the same thing. Like, I think a lot of people do that because, like you were saying, they have one thing they have on the one streaming site, they have one thing they want on the other. Well, I need both, and it just adds up. And they could pare that down at least in half.
Yeah,
and they just forget, or they don't.
A lot of the times, you don't have a lot of good content choices as well. Like on Amazon Prime's thing, they have a couple good titles. But other than that, they don't really have any good movies. They don't have any good shows on there.
If you want to watch documentaries, though, good place
they have good documentaries on there. But, I mean, even Apple Music...
They make you pay more, though. That's the thing about Amazon. Freaking Jeff Bezos. Dude.
We calling out Jeff Bezos now?
Yeah, I'm calling him out
today.
Him out.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, today.
That's the biggest guy we've called out so far.
It's not a shout-out. It's a call-out. Mr. Like... He's trying to pay off his divorce, I guess. You pay, I don't know how much, $10 a month for that or whatever.
$14.99 a month, I think.
Yeah, see, I clearly don't pay for it, and I have it. But like,
how do you pay for it, or how do you have it and not pay for it?
Amelia.
Oh,
I don't pay for any of this streaming service.
You're incredible.
But no, like I noticed that where I was like, okay, I have a subscription to this, air quotes, and then like I go to buy a movie and it's like $5 sometimes. And they get you too, because when you go to buy, if you don't press other options, did you know this too? If you don't press other options, it'll give you the $3.99 or $4.99 option. If you press other options, it puts you in SD, so it's like lesser.
Oh,
supposedly, it's not HD, but you save $1 to $2.
Dang,
that adds up.
Okay, I think I did know that, but
a lot of people don't do that.
I wasn't
doing
fine
it
print that comes along.
You just got to press more options, but yeah,
signing your soul away then to the
no. It's just like if you go to click, if you just go to click a movie, you know.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, like that's how they're making all this money though, because they're doing these options and just add-ons.
They live in a world of microtransactions.
It's crazy, man.
Look at all the video games now. Like a side tangent, like every game, you're paying $60 to get a game that's mostly unfinished, and then you have to pay for like downloadable content or microtransactions.
Isn't that how? I don't play video games anymore, but isn't that how those work too?
Yeah, so like NBA 2K,
you don't get the disc; you stream it.
Well, yeah, you can. There's digital copies too, which is why GameStop is going out of business. Like a lot of hard brick and mortar stores are going out of business for it. But talking about like to actually get the completed full value game, like NBA 2K, you get you pay $60 for the game. And then if you really want to like have your character do really well in the game or get like the best players or the best unlockables, you have to pay real world money. You
gotta buy a swag.
Pretty much, yeah. So like people can literally pay to play for $3,000 or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's like those fighting games. You buy the weapons and
exactly.
all that.
Yeah, all the mobile games and stuff too. I mean, I'm guilty. I pay for some mobile games every now and then, but I mean, hey. It's what it is, though. So, but
I don't want to hear. I don't want to take a month to not pay me for Venmo. Now that I know you buy.
I paid you for Venmo today, so here you go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different like always upcharge and all these companies will
because
do
they know. They have this like stranglehold on the consumer base, and there's nothing people can do about it.
Well, they throttle a lot of the locations too for some of these streaming sites. Like China won't allow certain pieces of content in their country or certain streaming sites as well. I know the UK doesn't get certain they get certain networks, but they don't get certain shows that are shown over there, which is really weird. Same for like Australia,
like the
and
Conor
New Zealand.
McGregor Floyd Mayweather match.
Yes, I know. So like, there's a show. Like on the CW, Riverdale. Do you know that show?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So they get the network over there in Australia, but they don't get that show streamed over there. So it's really, so you have to like, if you're like a fan of that show and you live over there, you have to go and pirate it offline or find some other way to watch it then. So, and that's what a lot of times like these streaming sites or these like the countries will do. So you run the risk of, okay, well, I want to watch this show. I can't because I'm geographically locked in this area. Like, imagine if like America didn't get Game of Thrones. Like it was like a region exclusive, like HBO and Australia only for Game of Thrones. Like Americans would have been like, what? Flipping out. Yeah, your Sunday night.
Can you imagine
watch party.
What social media would look like?
Oh, it would be a dumpster fire and everything.
Well, England doesn't put TVs in their bars either, so that's how they start with not showing people anything.
It sounds like you're still a little bit bitter from that.
I am.
Yeah.
Will and I were in Manchester, and they didn't have the McGregor-Mayweather fight on, and we missed it. And they didn't even have TVs in the bars to watch it.
We walked around for like 4 hours trying to find a bar to watch this.
I will always be mad about this. Dumbest thing ever. You put TVs in your bars, England.
Yeah, well...
And then
I'm sure
streaming.
They're listening. I'm sure the Prime Minister of Britain is listening.
Yeah,
right now.
Prince Harry.
There you go.
Get on that.
Because he has all the power.
Yeah, you get on that, and then you get to your streaming and make sure they can watch Riverdale.
So you mentioned earlier that like the prices do keep going up too, which I think is kind of ridiculous. So Netflix did a big price jump. They were first like $7.99 a month, then they were $8.99, then they were $9.99. Then they went from $9.99 to like $12.99 a month. And I was like, whoa, that's really far jump. Like I'm paying $13 now for what? Just like to watch my same shows. Then I think that's when they started developing their Netflix originals and stuff, and then some of them are good, but
to pay for Forrest Whitaker to run away from storms,
or you pay for just like these god awful like Netflix originals that are just so bad. But the escalation is going to continue as all of these streaming sites or all of these subscription models keep coming up. Like the Bevel subscription that I subscribe to for shaving used to be $39.99 a month, or every 3 months. Then it was $59.99 a month, and so I mean, it's always going to keep going up.
Did you say $59.99 a month?
Every 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not so bad.
No, that's that. So it's not too bad.
I don't want to rip on them too much. I might come on here, but
so Apple's is like what, $9.99 a month, I think, and then Spotify. How much is Spotify premium?
It's like $10.99. I think
$10.99.
I don't know these numbers, man. But that's the thing too.
So Spotify wasn't. It used to be like $8.99.
But this is the other thing. How I don't know any of these numbers. We none of us do
exactly,
and like we just accept it. We're just like, whatever.
It's
they raise their price. you're still going to keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it got like astronomical, heck, it could get up to $20 and you'd be like, man, well, whatever, I'll just keep it going.
You don't know how much is actually coming out of your bank account, and you're not going to just be like, I'm going to cancel this or whatever.
Right.
Like you're gonna,
and they all renew at different times. So
exactly.
Yeah, one might renew this week, one renews 2 weeks from now, and it's not like it comes out in a huge chunk. Hey, these are all your that'd be cool. All these these are everything you stream. It all comes out at once. Then I feel like you'd see that and say, whoa, $200? That's how much I spend. I need to pare this down.
That's going to get into kind of like where towards the end when we talk about what we're going to change for it. But I have an idea that would help streamline a lot of. That's my idea, is to help streamline a lot of this stuff. So we'll get into that later. But yeah, I mean, I had a Netflix charge $13.99 or whatever come out, and I was like, oh crap! I was like, what is this $13.99 charge for on my credit card? Oh, that's for Netflix. Oh, I have a $45 charge for Hulu. Oh shit! What's this? It just keeps coming out. I'm just like, well, I'm not going to get rid of this because I really like Amazon Prime and I like 2 shows on there. I really like, Hulu, and I watch TV on there. I watch like maybe 1 show on there too. But I mean, God forbid, you miss out on the latest episode of The Mandalorian, and because you don't have Disney Plus, and
can't see Baby Yoda,
and you're a plebeian. So I mean, Baby Yoda is totally worth it though. So don't get me started about Baby Yoda.
I'm gonna get started.
I need a little Baby Yoda just to hold and
you're gonna watch
play
Disney
with. And
you watch Baby Yoda on Disney Plus while you listen to him on your AirPods.
Yeah, I'll have my AirPods with my Starbucks drink.
Starbucks.
Disney Plus. What's other like massive millennial type of thing?
I don't know. I just picture like black rimmed glasses and a beanie.
Exactly, and I'll be living in my parents' basement too. So there you go. It's the perfect combination.
Millennials aren't buying houses.
Yeah, we don't buy houses. We just rent apartments. And
your parents have enough furniture in their basement to live down there.
They got enough furniture down there too.
You could live down there.
I mean, I could.
And St. Louis is cheap.
It'd be scary though. There's spiders down there, and I don't like spiders. So
well, you live in Texas.
Don't remind me. So I was looking through it as well, and I found this thing called. Do you know what net neutrality is, Aaron?
I've seen you tweet about it a lot.
Yeah. So I was
explain it to me because I remember. I think it was 2018, and everyone was freaking out about it.
Yeah. I was learning, like trying to figure out like different issues that it might have for these as well. Net neutrality kind of came into it, but it's the principle that internet service providers should enable all access to content and applications, regardless of like where it comes from, without favoring or blocking particular websites or certain areas.
You're gonna have to explain that more.
So the way it works is that you have an internet from AT&T. They can't throttle your internet connection to certain sites like Google or Facebook or Netflix or whatever, based on the internet payment that you make each month. So when net neutrality was repealed, it gives the internet providers the ability to do that. So if you want to purchase or watch Netflix or something, and you have AT&T, they could charge you an extra $5 to watch it then.
AT&T could charge you?
Yeah, they theoretically could.
They could just do it just because they want to make more money.
Yeah, because there's no limitations on it anymore.
Why would that be like okay?
Because the FCC said it was like a more fair and balanced way of.
And why haven't they done that?
Because I think it would piss everybody off, and it would be like total anarchy within the internet population.
I mean, they might start doing it slowly.
Well, I think they have. That's one of the fears, is that they're going to start doing it for a lot of these streaming sites because there's so many of them out there. Mm-hmm. And so like some areas in like LA and California, they're actually throttling. They're making you buy internet and TV together with cable, so you have to get both.
Yeah, it's like a premium.
It's
like the cable package,
exactly,
like old school bundle.
But like before, you could choose, be like, I want TV, internet. I just want internet. I want to do TV, internet, and phone, all that kind of stuff. But now they force you to buy like $100 for internet for channels you don't want, or for the cable. Then, well, that's the fear of like some of these internet companies are going to start charging you and forcing you to pay more, because like if you want to go on Twitter and your internet provider is Charter, they'd be like, well, it's an extra $5 to access Twitter. Then you got to pay it, or you don't get access to it.
That's interesting. I remember that being a thing with Facebook like 2009, 2010, that time, and there was like a rumor people were gonna have to start paying for Facebook.
No, that was like that Facebook Gold thing. That was a total scam, though. I remember that.
I didn't have Facebook at the time, so I don't.
Facebook
I don't know,
Gold is coming. If you want premium content,
they could. Why not?
I mean, it's
people
it's
would
totally
pay for
possible.
it.
Though.
I mean, I'd be honest, I'd pay for Twitter. I definitely would.
Man, that's tough because like
why not?
Where does
you're on Twitter
it's a
all the
slippery
time.
slope though? I mean, yeah, because it's like it's just there though. If I had to start paying for it, maybe it made me think twice about it.
It's like paying for a news service. Like it's like paying for a newspaper. You know, it's kind of that's how I look at it.
I guess,
and it's entertainment.
But I don't know if I could pay for Twitter. I mean, I guess if I had to choose, I'd probably just get rid of Facebook and Instagram. I guess I could go for Twitter. I guess I don't know. But that's
I'm not saying they should start paying. I like that they're free.
No,
but...
yeah, definitely keep it free. Nobody listens to this podcast. But that's what I'm saying.
We want to change social media being free.
Yeah.
We want to pay $10 a month because it's worth it.
And our podcast is over now. We're just gonna pack it up and head out. So, but I think it's a slippery slope too when you have because look at it from like a business sense. All these streaming sites or subscription models or whatever. You know, you could have them pay extra for shipping then.
This is some Richard Chaffetz business school education right here.
I mean, this is just what I think
John
about
Cook School
on a
of
daily
Business
basis.
from back in the day.
Because this is like practical, real world stuff. Plus, a lot of the clients I deal with are in Spotify and Netflix and Hulu and all those guys.
Are they your clients if you haven't closed them yet?
Have not yet. Getting close.
Prospects.
But I mean, when you're thinking about like, you know, hundreds of millions of subscribers through all these sites, and this is pretty much the way of the future.
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna. This is.
Why would it slow down? You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think one of the issues why it could start to slow down is because there's so much competition and there's so much, like, there's so many different types of content. I only have so many hours in the day of free time that I can spend towards watching this, and that. So I've had to be like, okay, well, I really want to watch this, but I don't want to get the streaming site because there's so many other pieces of content that I can watch instead. Mm-hmm. So you're having to choose and pick very selectively because there's no way you're going to watch the trillions of hours of content that are on one piece of streaming site.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to cause a lot of people to like, okay, well, you know, I'm sticking with my core and then just staying with that here. And I mean, you can only there's only so much money that you can spend towards these too, you know, for even the meal kits or, you know, you include everything included with it as well. How are you going to afford it all?
Right.
Like I don't know. I don't think.
Well, and I think they don't last forever because people, I know, like I had HelloFresh, and just for me, like I liked it. And then it got to a point where I kind of realized, okay, I only have it for these meals, you know, these certain meals.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, well, what am I paying this for? And I stopped. Right. And I think people are doing that with Netflix, I think, a lot now, where they're like, well, why am I paying this? They're raising the prices. I don't watch that much on it. I can, you know, pare down, maybe sacrifice missing a couple of these shows, but they know their core shows they want to watch, and they can go and get that on.
But you're not going to be able to get that now with a lot of these shows going to different networks and everybody having their own streaming sites. So like we said before, you know, if you have 10 shows that you watch, or if they're on 10 different streaming sites,
right,
they're $10 a piece. Like that's $100 right there per month. That's $1,200 a year for 10 shows that you want to watch. So, and there's probably other pieces.
I think
of
they
content.
just got to be careful to get to a limit. You know, there's a limit that people will pay, and there's a limit that people are going to say, no, TV is not worth this.
Right.
And they will notice if Netflix goes to $20-$30 and so does Disney Plus and so does everything else.
No way. I
like,
mean,
but you're gonna notice. Why wouldn't they? Because they're gonna push that envelope until. Think about it. Netflix didn't you say it was $7 or something like that?
It used to be like $7.99, yeah.
$13.99,
like $13, yeah.
Doubled. Like, you know, why not? Like, people are still doing it, and so they're gonna just keep going until they won't anymore. But I think it's gonna get to a point where they're just gonna ruin their reputation because people are gonna see that, okay, there's nothing on here. Or there's a couple things on here I want to watch, but I'm gonna pay $30 plus my million other things I'm paying $30 for, and they're gonna do the same thing that they did with cable and just cut it.
And I think
because people sacrifice TV. I mean, think about that. 10 years ago when they cut the cord, I knew plenty of people. They were sacrificing sporting events, sacrificing shows they loved. Like, I think people do it. Like, when it gets to a certain point, I think it takes a while. It takes maybe 10 years, and then it also takes it steadily climbing until it's ridiculous where you're like, all right, this is really
I don't even think we've
budget.
seen the peak of it yet, to be honest.
No. I think it's another 10 years, but I think we'll get there, and then it's like, all right, this needs to change, and because people are just going to stop, and they'll just stop watching whatever, and shows will get canceled.
I've already stopped doing that. Like, I've stopped my subscription to Apple Music. I was like, I don't need this. I already have Spotify.
And that's why, these companies are going to get too big, or too, I don't know, powerful is the right word, but they're going to think that, well, you can't live without this. Right. And then people are going to realize, no, I can, and I just won't do it.
Well, then it's like it's going to turn into more of like the brand that you associate yourself with, like, Android versus iPhone, Yeah. They do essentially the exact same thing. You're just like, oh, I'm an Apple guy, 'cause
people went to Disney.
Oh, I'm an Android. Yeah,
it's Disney.
Yeah, brand. It's all branding too. So like when the music's, I'm a Spotify guy. You're an Apple guy. Apple Music. So I mean, it's all the same in the end. Yeah. Just a matter of like where your loyalties lie with it. So I think that's going to be an issue maybe if how these businesses can kind of attract those other types of people.
I just think they're gonna ruin that loyalty if they keep hiking their prices up and taking content off at the same time.
But what I do like that some of the meal kits do, like when you're comparing Blue Apron, they ship you the products and the food, but you cook it yourself. So you learn to cook, you follow the instructions, you learn the recipes. Whereas like was the HelloFresh or the Freshly ones, they send you like the pre-made meals. You can just heat them up in the microwave.
Well, no, HelloFresh is the same as Blue Apron.
What am I thinking? I'm thinking of Freshly, I think it is.
Oh, okay. They just send you the...
Yeah, so they send you like meal prepped items
like
already.
A TV dinner?
So it's like the Snap Kitchen that's here in Dallas.
Okay.
It's like pre-made meals you just heat up in the microwave and they just ship it to you. So I like what Blue Apron does just because it teaches you a little bit more of a skill because you still have to cook it. The convenience side of it though is
teaches you a skill.
Oh, I mean, okay,
like putting something in the oven.
No, because you have to chop it up. You have to like cut.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just funny.
All right, Aaron, let's see you go cook a nice gourmet meal or learn.
Hey, I had HelloFresh for a while.
Well, did you learn any great skills?
No, because I just put stuff in the oven.
Oh.
I know you get the more like hands-on of I get to chop this up and make it to how I like it. I get to add.
I like to cook.
If
more,
I want
though,
it spicier, I get to like put more spice in it. I was just picturing you like ordering a Blue Apron and then getting all like Gordon Ramsay with it, like just like the most simple
Today
meal.
We're gonna flambe some meat here. It's gonna be absolutely incredible.
I'm gonna flambe some Salisbury steak for you.
Exactly. We're making beef Wellington today.
No, like something real like simple like fish sticks, but just like getting all like,
I don't think Blue Apron
ever
is going to sell you fish sticks. Like, oh, here's some fish sticks you get at Sam's Club for like 25 cents, per stick.
The best cod you'll ever taste.
Well, it's like that commercial with Gordon Ramsay. You see that where he's at like
use
Costco.
A cocktail stick.
Yeah, he's like doing gourmet stuff like hors d'oeuvres or whatever.
It's
like quesadillas. Like use a goddamn cocktail stick.
That was my favorite. Was when the fact he's making quesadillas.
Yeah,
it was just funny. It was like.
Because he's such a high-end chef, and he's making like the crappiest like food you can get at like a Costco or whatever.
An idiot sandwich.
What were we talking about? No, I totally forgot. Oh yeah. So I was gonna make the point where like a lot of people want more.
Blue Apron teaches you how to cook.
Exactly. People want more like customization and a la carte choices to their streaming sites or music or whatever. And I think that's what's gonna kind of sway people to this one or that one, because there needs to be like a service to like provide that. I think where you're able to like fully customize what you want and what you're able to get from these streaming sites. And like Hulu, ESPN, and Disney are actually doing that with that bundle. You get you get all three for like what, $13 a month or something, which is a great deal. Like,
oh yeah,
that's awesome. I found out the only reason they do that is because Disney owns 60% of Hulu.
Yeah.
So, did you know that?
I knew they owned some of it. I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, they are like a major
I just figured
shareholder.
I just figured they have a hand in everything. So they're
Disney.
They
and
own
Google,
a little bit of everything.
Disney, Google, and Apple are going to slowly take over the world, and they pretty much do have like a hand in pretty much every media.
And I think that's where people too need to stop with this brand loyalty, because like, I get it, you like certain things,
but it's a lifestyle, Aaron.
It's a lifestyle.
I'm an Apple guy because
but
I need my AirPods.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like that's why it's gonna get dangerous, because these companies, they don't care about you. Like, they love that you're all like loyal to their brand, and like it's gonna get scary because they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg because you're so loyal, and you're just gonna blindly go subscribe or get it out of convenience. You're not even gonna look into it. And then you're going to be like, wait a minute, this is getting to be $20 a month, $30 a month.
Right.
Like,
so are you brand loyal to anything particularly?
No. I mean...
So you're a mercenary? You're a brand mercenary then?
Yeah, I mean...
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Because I have an iPhone. I use like the popular brands, I guess you could say, but like...
Are there any like clothing brands you're like, okay, I have to buy shirts from this brand, or I have to buy
I'm wearing
sweaters.
Puma socks right now, and I'm wearing Nike joggers. So, no, that's not very brand loyal, I wouldn't say.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, if there's certain like things that are comfortable, yeah, I'll rebuy them again, like shoes or something. But
right.
No, I think that's exactly why I'm that way, because I just think if you get to be too brand loyal and too like, first of all, why is another brand better? Because you think the logo is cool, and because you see other people have the logo.
I'm the opposite. I'm very brand loyal to a certain thing.
But why? Because everyone else
I guess
because
right? Like Apple, I've used it forever, and it's like what I'm familiar with. And
but why'd you pick Apple?
Because I got a free laptop when I was going to college. And
but I think you would have picked it anyway, because, and I've just seen this, especially college, number one, because it's that status. Because they see it, they're like, ooh, you got a Mac, it's expensive. You got AirPods, those are like trendy and expensive.
Yeah, maybe.
They got, and I think it's without people thinking of it, and so people will just do it, and then they'll go do Disney. I love Disney. Okay, and then you'll go do Disney Plus without even looking at it and what it really entails. They're just going to buy it, and then these companies are going to charge tons of money because you'll blindly do it, and you want that status.
I'm brand loyal to Cole Haan, their shoes and everything. I think because
they employed you after college.
They did for a little while.
They saved your life.
But I was brand loyal to them before I would work there. That's why I worked there too, because I really like their products and I like kind of their brand, so to speak. And I do think they have better kind of dress shoes than a lot of the other ones out there, like Alfani or Steve Madden or anything like that.
But like, if Cole Haan was charging $300 for shoes, would you buy them? You would?
I mean, depends on the type of shoe. I would be tempted.
Walking around shoes. Okay. No, dress shoes. You would spend $300 on dress shoes?
I haven't, but I've considered it. I mean, if they're really nice dress shoes,
dude, that's not answering the question.
And they're going to,
you should be a politician with that.
They're going to last for a little while. Maybe I should. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I could. $300 is pretty expensive for shoes, but I mean, people spend $1,000 on shoes because
right.
Of the
but
brand,
that's what I'm saying. Like, people, like these brands, they raise the price so much because people blindly are like, well, this is my brand. I'm loyal to it. And I think we're going to see that in...
Well, I mean, yeah, Apple does that too. I mean, they charge $1,200 for a phone that is functionally limited when you compare it to all the other Android phones.
And we're going to see this in these streaming services where they hide behind the convenience, which it is convenient. I'm glad that this is an option now. But I just really think people need to be careful because it's dangerous, because they're going to take advantage of all these people's brand loyalty and just charge you whatever they want and still say, well, it's really convenient and we have these shows that we're holding hostage for you,
No, that's a good point, actually. And, where does it stop? Where does it really end?
In reality, it doesn't have to stop. And that's the thing. Because,
I don't think it will.
Because people are so weirdly brand loyal to these companies for whatever strange reason.
Yeah.
Like... they don't have to stop, and then people psychologically will just keep paying it and keep doing it and convince themselves they're like, oh, well, they have all these options and they're really convenient. And where instead of looking at okay, maybe I can mix up my streaming options to get the best price mixed with what I want.
Right. So what's your change then? Like what do you want to change?
So I got a weird one. And you're gonna
very weird one. I'm ready.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do this anytime.
Mine's pretty radical, so
yeah. Well, this is rad.
This is rad.
So
there's a difference between rad and radical. Rad's like, yeah, rad, bro, and then radical's like, whoa, just take it easy, man.
well, this is like,
but you are breaking the status quo.
Yeah,
so.
It's so crazy, it's cool. That's how it is.
All right,
but I'm not saying I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take an answer like you buying $300 Cole Haan shoes.
The politician
answer. Yes, the politician answer. Where I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I'm not gonna actually do this anytime soon. But my change is for cable companies to come back, and they need to come back and say, hey, listen, we know, just admit it. Just be like, hey, we got too expensive. We're bringing our costs way down. Bring them to the cost of what they were back in the day, man, in the 2000s, or before that. Bring them so low where people take notice, and then they say, oh, wait, I can get all these options at a great cost, and they'll just earn back their customers. And I think because they have that brand loyalty there, though, where I think people are still loyal in a weird way to cable brands.
I think like the boomers are, because they can't figure out how to use the streaming sites, or they're not familiar with like what to do. I don't know if millennials will ever truly go back to cable, because there's.
I think they could if their price became competitive and they offered, because if they wait until it gets so spread out of, CBS is here and Fox is here and Disney's here and all that. If cable companies, and I could be totally off base here because maybe they don't have the ability, but if somehow they could bring together all those channels and shows and movies and everything,
it could work, but
and then discount it. I think eventually you're gonna say and be like, wait, I could pay half what I'm paying and get it all.
But
together
the beauty
in one
of the
package.
streaming sites is that you don't have to wait for the show to come on at a certain time like you do with cable. You can go and be like, I want to watch Seinfeld and I want to watch 17 episodes of it right now. Yeah, you can do that and just like season 3 and just binge watch the entire thing.
But that's when you weigh, is it worth the price? And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, convenience versus
the streaming sites can say, hey, take that approach. Hey, you love binge watching. You want to watch 17 episodes of Seinfeld. Pay for it. And I think a lot of people
but then you're getting
that
back
binge
to this
culture came kind of in our generation. I think
it's from Netflix. Yeah,
because it was
Netflix
so cheap
and chill.
Yeah, because it was, bro. Because it was so cheap to do. You could do it, but I don't think people would do it anymore because
if it got too expensive, then yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so I think if cable companies came back, because people had cable they still have cable, even when it makes no sense. So I think if they came back and showed the benefits that they provide, and the main benefit would be, hey, we care about the cost. Like, we're keeping our price here. We're not going to raise it. I think everyone would get back on board.
I think it just depends on how, the networks, I think, have more of the power, though, too, because they can say, okay, well, Amazon's going to pay me, 6 figures for this particular show, like Fox or whatever, for their news. What are the internet provider, or the cable companies going to pay? I mean, I think it's more in demand.
It becomes like a bidding war?
Yeah, so it becomes like a bidding war then. So, there's 28 million subscribers on Hulu. If they bid, X amount of dollars for, this certain show or network or whatever, I would assume they're going to win because they know that there's 28 million subscribers who are going to watch that at any time. Mm-hmm. As opposed to the cable where it's like, well, you have to watch it when it comes on, and it's kind of a dying
but there's
trend.
There's on demand. But you have
to pay
Comcast
for on demand. You have to pay for the certain shows. Then, so you're paying for this cable, you're paying for the internet, and you're also paying for watch the show on demand. The streaming sites are already on demand. You just pay for that, and then you.
But I'm saying if they lower those costs and then they maybe throw in on demand for free, or they make it so low that. Like a reasonable price, and maybe bring it down to what streaming costs now, because streaming's going to go up. It's not going to stop.
No.
And so I think, and that's what I'm not saying like today, because I think today it's fine. Don't change it. Everything's good. I like the convenience. I like the streaming options. And, I do wish they were more a la carte, where I could just pick, hey, these are the 5 channels I watch. Check. These are the channels. I have them. Boom, I'm done. And I'll pay for
that's
them.
a great segue into my change, actually. So I really love the customization tool of it. That's probably like the way of the future, in my opinion, for how, if this is going to continue. So I would really love to see like a collaboration, like one website. You ask the consumer a couple questions, like, what are you into? You like sports? You like movies? This goes for all subscriptions as well, like food, clothes, apparel, movies, music, whatever. Like, all right, I really like, Dr. Dre. I really like Friends.
Dr. Dre.
I'm picking like a random thing. I really like watching sports, and I like cooking or whatever. Then they're like, okay, cool. You answer the couple questions. What are you laughing about?
You just threw me off with your first one as Dr. Dre. Are you talking about watching something?
No, so I'm talking about like a collaboration. You answer a couple questions for like a website.
Yeah.
It recommends then the subscriptions and the streaming sites to you, and then you get all of those subscriptions and streaming sites at a discounted rate on like a bundle. So it's like kind of what Hulu and Netflix, or Hulu and Disney Plus and them do for that streaming bundle.
Like Dr. Dre, I get Spotify.
So and it recommends you Spotify or something too. And then you get every single subscription and streaming site that you want. For a discounted price. So that way you're like, okay, well, I don't need to keep this subscription for this one show. I can get it. I can get everything I want. It's discounted, so
would this be like a new site that would have the options to pick?
Just call it the ultimate super awesome streaming subscription bundle service or whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
INC.
Yeah.
LLC.
Whatever you want to call it. It would be like a website or like a company that it would buy individually like the subscriptions to each of these things, and then sell them to you, like the login information, the accesses.
But how do you prevent that from, like, couldn't they sell them to you for whatever they want? And that's where we get back to our old point of,
well, the model wouldn't work if they sold it to you at premium cost. The change that it would only work if they sold it to you at a bundle,
right?
So that's the service they provide is a cheaper alternative,
and that's where I think they would have to do that. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
They could not get greedy and start.
Oh no,
because then it's just doing what's happening now.
Yeah, right. And that's their selling point.
I think that's ultimately what we're both getting at, is like it all comes down to these. I get it; they got to make money,
right?
But like they're preventing these really good ideas from happening because they're just outpricing people,
right?
And eventually, it's going to crash and burn, and people are just going to stop watching stuff.
And it's not like the streaming sites or the subscription services lose money, and they don't have to come together or form an agreement. Like one company will buy each individual subscription, so they're still buying them at $13.99 or $7.99 or whatever, and then you get the bundle based on your preferences for. You get 5 streaming sites for $30 a month as opposed to $35 a month or whatever.
Yeah. And
that way you're like, okay, cool. I get exactly what I want. I get all the shows. It's all conveniently in there. You manage all your subscriptions under the account in the, under the company's website. And you're like, cool. I want to drop this subscription and add this one. Still get a discount price, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that way, you're like, oh, I have 5 different withdrawals from my account coming at 5 different times of the month. I know exactly how much I'm spending, and I'm getting exactly what I want. Everybody wins.
Yeah. No, I think that's perfect. I think that would...
I think we should start this site, Aaron.
Yeah, we need to. There you go.
We're going to crowdfund now for this super awesome, spectacular ultimate streaming service site. So
that's great.
Should we start a Patreon for it?
Oh, man. Let's start selling some merch for that.
There we go. We're going to get merch soon. It's going to happen.
We need more taglines.
We're gonna happen. So that's my change. I mean, I would say,
yeah,
I think I like yours too. I think there's a little bit more barriers for it, but I mean,
and I think that's what it comes down to. In our change is that it has to work out perfectly, where it's got to keep the cost down, and it's got to get past those barriers, and Just stop being greedy. Is basically what it gets down to.
This is a telecom industry, Aaron.
Yeah,
These
crazy
things
man.
go for. This is a billion, 100 billion.
But I think
trillion.
they need to look at their customers and what the customer wants, because they'll stick around and they'll be really loyal to the brand.
I agree.
And they'll create, like we were talking about, that brand loyalty.
Yeah.
So whereas I feel like now, like, I don't think people are that loyal to Netflix, and I think you're starting to see Blockbuster did it. I mean, it's it's all these, we've seen it for years and years. Like, Netflix took out Blockbuster because people just go to whatever's better. They don't have that loyalty because they know they don't care about them, and because they've shown, because they'll just outprice them, so and they'll screw them over every chance they get.
One of my favorite shows is Supernatural. If Netflix took Supernatural off, I would cancel my Netflix subscription.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, and that's a fine line.
There's nothing
they
I need more on this. Like, I only have it pretty much for like 2 shows,
and they know they're doing it.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and I think that's the huge thing that needs to start happening is they look at what are people watching, what would people be really upset about. Okay, hey, look, we're never taking this off because we care about you guys, and we're gonna keep our prices fair. And I just think that's where we really start with the brand loyalty, and then you can start raising prices a little bit, and it'll be like Apple, where they can charge $2,000 for a laptop and people will buy it because that brand loyalty is built in.
True. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments, or tweet at us as well. This is, I think, a really cool discussion that we've had.
There's a lot of
more interesting episodes.
There's a lot of cool ideas you can come up with that they're totally hypothetical, but they're things to think about where, could you do that? Yeah, you could do that, or that is an option. And to see maybe next year there's something new that comes out, and
there's going to be like 9 new subscription services.
Yeah, it's just it's so rapidly evolving. That's I just find fascinating is how quick this specific industry's changed, and how it's needed to change, and then whenever it needs to change, something new comes out, and it does basically save the industry because it does make it more convenient, or it will save on price, and it kind of solves it for itself.
Yeah, well, we'd like to hear what your thoughts are. So tweet at us. Continue the conversation. Tell us what your favorite streaming sites are. Tell us how many you have. What are you fed up with? How it's going to be run now, or where do you think it's going to go? So, give us your thoughts down below. Aaron, you got anything else as we end this very long debate?
Yeah, no. Just follow us at Weekendology Pod on Twitter, and rate and subscribe. We would love more ratings. Just if you want to give us 5 stars, that's awesome. But otherwise, just leave a comment on Apple, iTunes, Podcasts, purple icon, whatever it's called, on your cell phone
Apple Podcasts.
And then I'm at Aaron Levi Berg on Twitter. I follow back, so hook a brother up with a follow.
Follow back, girl.
Yeah. I know, follow back, girl.
Oh, there we go. I knew we'd get some singing out of you eventually.
Got any shout-outs this week?
Shout outs.
I have one.
Obviously Jeff Bezos. So
yeah,
thanks. Well, who's your shout out?
Well, you finish your shout out.
I don't have a shout out.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I want to give a shout out to Gail Pasterzik.
Oh, my mom?
Yes.
Oh, for what?
Shout out Gail Pasterzik because she's our #1 fan. I know she listens to every episode, and she follows us on Twitter and likes our posts. So
she does, yeah.
Shout out to Gail Pasterzik.
My mom's the best, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She's awesome.
And shout out to all our interview guests for 2019. So they were awesome. We had some good interviews as we bring this podcast to a close for 2019 and gear up for 2020. So.
We're going to do, I think we have a couple more episodes planned before 2019 is over with.
We have a couple.
So we're going to do kind of like a conclusion of the last couple months that we've done so far.
2020 is going to be a big year, though.
Yeah, but thanks, everybody. I really appreciate kind of all the support that you guys give us for this podcast. I know we're still pretty small, but it's awesome to kind of see the numbers grow, and it's awesome to see some of the interaction that we have between you guys and Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff too. They can follow me at Twitter. I'm at William Deishley. The spelling will be in the description below.
I didn't spell it this time.
Yeah, DEUSCHLE.
Oh wow, now you're spelling it.
Incredible.
Hey, shout out Big Red World too. They're at Big Red Social. It's our network.
Yeah, they're a great podcasting publishing network as well. They're at Big Red Social on Twitter. They're also at BigRedWorld.org. We're at Weekendology Pod. You can follow us on pretty much everywhere we want. We have new episodes every Friday. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.